Welcome back to the AB Scale Project. I'm Krieger, and this is Alpha Bravo. And this episode is the continuation of our Mini-bots deep dive. First, we'll look at Powerglide, and away we go! This Daredevil show-off first appeared in Season 2, becoming the first Autobot with a flight mode. He was featured in several episodes and many forms of media afterwards. In IDW Comics, he went from background character in The More Than Meets the Eye to a member of the Aerial Bots in the mainline comic. For the toys, we don't have any recolor stand-ins, but we have plenty of height substitutions. Classics Jazz for DX9's Richthofen, my Spotlight Cliff Jumper Custom for X-Transbot's Glider, MP Bumblebee for the Combiner Wars oversized knockoff. Doing double duty are the Combiner Wars for itself and the Dark of the Moon, and G1 is also doubling for Make Toys. First up, I'm going to remove the Dark of the Moon for IDW G1 appearance. For playability, I'm removing G1, but he gets to hang out a little longer standing in for the Make Toys. So we're down to scale. Ugh. He never appeared in any scale charts, so they made him whatever height was convenient for the episode in the original series. He ranged between Scout to Deluxe. For IDW, he went from Leader to Tall Deluxe. So that's a long way just to eliminate the Make Toys. So we've still got a lot to pick through, so we're going to get picky. I'm going to remove the X-Transbots for appearance because the hip flaps go a little too far up the torso for me. Well, that didn't take us far. The DX9 is actually a decent price right now, so I can't eliminate it for availability. All the remaining are decent toys and would make you happy to own as your Powerglide, and can be justified with scale. So I'm going to make an executive decision and say we're sticking to Scouts class for G1 and Leader for Matumti. This eliminates the DX9 and the oversized knockoff. So the winner is Combiner Wars for G1 and Universe for Matumti. There is an all-red version of the Universe mold for the Matumti, but I'm pretty happy with this one. Again, you can be happy with almost any of the options, and they can all be justified because the scale was never set between Scout to Leader. Next up is the Interstellar Lonely Loner, Cosmos. He hit the stage in Season 2 as the Outer Space Scout and Transport. He was featured in several forms of media, most recently being the MacGuffin for a Cyberverse episode. For IDW, he had a few bit parts, even being a background character for Matumti, and became one of the focus characters in the Combiner Wars storyline. He became a somewhat main character until the end of the continuity. For the toys, we got a lot of substitutions because they made a lot of toys of them. Siege Prowl is standing in for Mastermind Creations Omni, X-Transbots Klaatu, and Zeta Toys Traveler. MP Bumblebee is in for Toy World Space Racer. Reveal the Shield Windcharger for iGear UFO. G1 Powerglide for Magic Square UFO. And Universe is standing in for itself and New Age Max Green. For low-hanging fruit, we'll remove the G1 and the Universe for playability. The Universe gets to hang out a bit longer because of New Age. They're basically all G1 in appearance, but the iGear is a stylized G1, so I'm going to go ahead and remove it. For scale, he doesn't appear in the scale charts, but the cartoon is pretty clear that he's a dumpy short guy. Scout class all the way. For Matumti, on the other hand, he's friggin' huge. Leader class easily, down to Voyager. Since none of these are taller than a short deluxe, we're going to focus on the Scout class. So we'll eliminate all the third parties represented by Siege Prowl, and on the low side, I'm going to go ahead and remove the New Age and the Magic Square. So we're left with the Toy World and the Thrilling 30. The Toy World is closer to a short deluxe and still pretty expensive for the size, so I'm going to go ahead and remove it. So the winner is the Thrilling 30. I've liked this mold since it came out. The reissue for Titan's Return will be the one you want to find though, because they changed the head casting to red instead of yellow, so you won't get the paint removal like you see on mine. Overall, it's a fun mold and the closest to a Matumti look you're going to find. If someone makes a Voyager Plus oversized version, it'd be perfect. Blam! Zowie! It's time for Warpath! This onomatopoeia spouting tank commander kablowed his way into Season 2 and went on to star in several more forms of media since. He played mostly a support role for the IDW comics, with several cameos. For the toys, our recolor stand-in is Brush Guard for the movie version. For height, we got Junker Cannonball standing in for Kingdom, MP Prowl for Bad Cube War Dog and Fans Toys Sheridan, Classics Jazz for Final Victory War Machine, TR Seaspray for the Iron Factory, and G1 for himself and the Universe version. For playability, we're going to remove G1 and the Universe. For IDW G1 appearance, we'll remove the movie and the GoBot. I'm also going to remove the Combiner Wars because the gun should be in his chest. It's his thing. For scale, in the original series, he went from Scout to Short Deluxe. For IDW, he's a Deluxe. So we can remove the Bad Cube and the Fans Toys and the Final Victory. So we're down to the Generations, Iron Factory, and Kingdom. For G1, it's between the Kingdom and the Iron Factory. Kingdom wins for being more faithful to G1, and Generations wins for IDW. They use this appearance and the alt mode in the comics, and the scale is right on. Next is a bot who shared a voice with Merman, Seaspray. This hovercraft bot hovered to the scene in Season 2 of the original series and had cameos in several forms of media since. For IDW, he was pretty much a background filler character. For our height stand-ins, we have Cybertron Swindle for the Shattered Glass, Classics Jazz for Toy World Wavebreak and X-Transbots Neptune, Siege Prowl for Zeta Toys Deep Sea, MP Bumblebee for Fans Toys Spindrift, G1 Warpath for Make Toys Hover, and iGear Pipes for the head-level representation of iGear Spray. For playability, I'm going to remove G1 and G2. For IDW G1 appearance, we'll remove the Shattered Glass. For scale, we don't have a reference for IDW since he was never shown in full height. For G1 cartoon, he was shown to be the same size as Bumblebee, which makes him a Scout. So we'll remove most of third parties and the hunt for the Decepticons. On the small side, I'm going to go ahead and remove the iGear and the Make Toys. That leaves us with the Titan's Return. This is a great toy and a great representation for the character. For our final touchy-feely, we're looking at Wheelie. His first appearance was groovy when he showed up in the '86 movie. To tell of his glory, he was in many other stories. In IDW, he had such a time running around with Optimus Prime. Okay, that's enough of that. For our recolor stand-ins, we got Classics Jazz for the GDO. For height, we got Universe Beachcomber for the Universe, G1 Seaspray for the Studio Series 86, and MP Bumblebee for the X-Transbots Ollie. For playability, I'm going to remove the G1 and the Studio Series 86. The SS86 doesn't transform or even stand up straight. For G1 IDW appearance and scale, they're both the same, the classic look in a Scout size. For looks, the movie toys are out, and good riddance. GDO, X-Transbots, and Universe are out for scale. If you want the best of fun, Titan's Return is the one. He's a great toy that brings so much joy, and he came in under the gun. That's it for the Mini-bots. I'll cover Bumblebee and Cliffjumper in another episode, when I feel like torturing myself. Anyway, if there's a character you'd like to see, put your request in the comments below. Thanks for joining us today on the AB Scale Project. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see y'all later.